No record.
No, go live.
Yeah, I did. Nice. I'm still sharing my screen, aren't I? Nope. No. It is 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. All right. I am live. Check our sources real quick.
Are you actually going into like Twitch and whatnot to see if it's working, or
Yes, sir.
you just have a different account or something like that? And that's how you're checking.
No, I can log in at ours. All right, that's good. That's good. All right. Gentlemen, welcome. Welcome. Hey, Jay, nice to see you roll on in by. So, welcome to Average Minds, everyone. I am one of your hosts, Unc Redbeard. And joining me tonight is a man whose opinions are so perfectly average, they once got a standing ovation from a focus group at Applebee's. He's not a critic, he's not a scholar, he's not even sure if cinematography is a camera thing or a pasta dish. But he is brave enough to watch movies, judge them publicly, and pretend we know what we're doing. The one and the only, the aggressively average, Mr. Knickerbocker.
Thank you for having me on. And I don't know what all this fancy keys are. My keyboard, right? Keyboard, is that it? Yeah.
That is the word, keyboard.
All right.
So this evening we watched Cadillac Man. We are reviewing Robin Williams. It was we randomly rolled for this. Was the first actor that we had selected by random roll. And we watched a movie that neither of us have ever seen before, Cadillac Man. And
yeah, what it was.
it was pretty all right.
It was unexpected.
True.
I will point out that for Robin Williams, we had 3 movies originally picked out that we were going to pick at random review. This obviously being number 1, but we decided that we were going to do a 4th one.
Yes. We added to the list, it's called Robin's Wish, which was actually done by and produced by his wife, because he is no longer here with us, and so it goes over his struggles and the last few months of his life as well. So we figured that would be a good homage to kind of, I would say, cascade or close off the series. So
yeah, it's definitely a good note to end on. You got a great career.
Right. And we're also reviewing his entire cinematography works instead of just, if he was typecast and fit in a box as a comedy actor. So this one was definitely, it was a comedy movie, but a dark comedy.
Yeah. And as you mentioned that, we talked about our reviews and whatnot. We got five categories. And you mentioned one of them, which was cinematography.
Yes.
So I guess we should go over what our 5 categories are.
Yeah. So we're doing a 5-point system, and there are 5 categories. They can be half points or a full point to keep it simple. So maximum a movie can score technically 5 points. There is entertainment, effectively. Was it fun to watch? There is cinematography. Did it look good? Was, there janky angles, or was it smooth? Those kinds of things. Then there's audio, ambience, soundtrack. Did it sound good? Right? And then we have script / plot. Did it make sense? And then followed up by acting / immersion. Did we only see the actor as who they are typecast, or did they actually take on this role? Jay, to answer your question, we did already watch it. Because of copyright law, we cannot watch it while on stream, unless you just want to stare at our face. So, which I'm all for if you want to sit and stare at my face, but, I can't show you the movie.
Gotta do my hair first.
Right, I gotta shave again. Yeah. So, just starting that off with some general questions. What did you expect from this movie, Mr. Knickerbocker?
Well, I went in with a completely open mind. I've always known Robin Williams and grew up with him in his comedies. I do know of some of his darker stuff, which I haven't watched, but I mostly know him as a comedic stand-up comedian, more comedy, because that was my era.
Right. That makes sense. I came in similar. I was like, I was expecting a comedy kind of thing. And I think it's the case for most of his movies. Like, we know that there is a movie where it's horror based. And that is on our list to actually watch. But I was expecting, another comedy up front. But in terms of just overall movie, I think it actually was a little more surprising.
Yeah, I agree. This is a lot more grounded type of movie,
Right.
where it wasn't, his acting wasn't too over the top. It was more of a it's a nice mellow simmer.
I agree. What did we so we had talked about during the movie. Hey, Quickling. Or Quackling, I should say. And yo, Carson. Welcome in, guys. Yeah, that's definitely part of the plan, Gleep, to perhaps go over and edit these things for full videos. We do have a channel and everything, just to show you guys real quick before we go on to another thing. Oop, there we go. And I'll actually move this Cadillac image down below it. So there we go. You guys can see we are, of course, I'm streaming to my channels, but Mr. Knickerbocker is hosting for the other channels. So, thanks, guys. I appreciate that you think it's cool. So we had talked about Joey O'Brien, the character that Robin Williams is playing as, and you had some thoughts on, that we were kind of rooting for him, but he's kind of a douche.
He is every definition of a car salesman.
True.
Every definition of a car salesman. But I gotta be honest, just start off right off the get-go, just so everybody knows. When you first turn on this movie, the song at the very beginning, I'll be honest, low key, it actually kind of gets you into it. It's like, oh, this is gonna be a good movie. This is gonna be. The instrumentals are nice. Song actually brings you in,
right?
And then that first scene is just like, that's what this movie's going to be.
I agree. Hello, Andrea. And that answers one of my questions, which was, if the opening was strong enough to kind of pull us in. I definitely agree. Did you think that with the Joey O'Brien character that Robin Williams was playing himself, or he did well with the character?
I think he did well with the character. I will say you know, listening to some of his conversations when he's not acting, I feel like there's a lot of him as a person in it, with a little flavor of the Robin Williams persona.
I agree. And it's nice to see that it was a rated R movie. I think that was nice, because there's so many where he does like child movies and stuff, so you actually get, unless you've seen his stand up, you actually get him cursing. Even in his, stand up, it feels like sometimes it was isolated for his cursing. So I agree. There were moments where you could see Robin pushing through, but it wasn't, he definitely felt a lot like the character, I think.
Yeah. It wasn't too much. It was pretty good. It definitely kept. He was the best character in the movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. And a lot of the focus and jumping between like the shots and the inner monologue, I think, was also fantastic.
Yeah, I kind of like it. He goes and he does the fourth wall, where he's driving his Cadillac and he's looking over at you, just talking to you. This is my day. This is what's going on, and just walks you through his life. So, it was pretty nice. It was different, especially for the time.
True.
This is a '90s movie.
It's true. 1990 on the dot. You think it encapsulated 1990 very well?
Oh, this was a 1990s movie from the get-go. The cars. Even you made a comment about a certain point in the movie where, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie, it's a funeral. It's a hearse. They were talking about being $20,000. This lady's paying $20,000 to have her husband buried.
Yep. And I was like, that's a crap ton of money for the time. So, yeah, it was a lot. And he, of course, being the salesman schmuck that he is.
Listen, he does not discriminate. He sells to everyone, and literally everyone.
He's a salesman first.
There's no shame in his game.
And that leads me to think, he was charming, but he was also irritating, definitely dishonest. And he was all over the place, and he's got a thing for ladies.
He's definitely the ladies' man. I don't know how he does it, but he is a salesman, so.
True. And there's quite a few, actually it's pretty decent cast, and a lot of them are still actually, around today, but they have Fran Drescher in it, Pamela Reed, Lori Petty. There's actually a pretty good amount, and you guys will see that on screen if you check out one of the other
Don't forget
sites,
about Tim Robbins.
And of course, Tim Robbins, he plays the character of Larry.
About Shawshank.
And him bouncing between this and a lot of his issues wrapped up with these women and his escapades. And it ends on a good note. So,
yeah, I mean, this guy's got so many issues. You could start a subscription, as they say. Not just with women. It does go further than just.
True.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
All right, so we know he's a ladies' man. Which relationship do you think was the best? Which one do you think was the worst?
I think him and his wife's name is Tina, right? Let me see here with my notes. Yeah. So
who was his
ex-wife? Yeah.
Wife. Yeah. Lisa was his daughter, which you only got to see for like a couple seconds, and then you had
there was Tina, Joy, Lila, and
Lila.
Donna. And there was the other salesman lady, but I don't remember her name. So, yeah, I think, if he was outside of Tina, because he's got an established relationship and they're jumping back and forth in their chemistry of being able to, yell at each other and laugh over nothing. I think that's very important.
Yeah, we're watching. I was talking to you about that's basically my wife and
I. And then I think otherwise the only other person was Joy, because she is already technically in the relationship that she's in, because she's stepping out on her husband. She has access to money, but it wasn't about that for her. Even if he was broke, she still enjoyed being with him.
Yes. I gotta say, big game this guy has.
True. He was very persuasive, I would say the least.
Well, I will say, as far as the ending's concerned, I like how it kind of leaves it what am I looking for? Ambiguous.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was good. And I think about the end of the movie, he kind of solved his problems. I mean, they solved themselves, but
right
in his heart, I think he solved all his problems at once.
I agree. And I think with Joey, and I would ask if you agreed that if he grew by the end of it, just going into your point, and I think he did. There's a but not a lot, but a little bit. There's a little bit of a change.
I agree. I think he grew, but I think it started out with him just trying to save his own butt.
Yeah. I think it was also, quickly that there was a lot of women falling out of his line, if you will, and trying to juggle the pieces, but he always had a soft spot for his ex-wife, so I think that was kind of nice to see.
Just to give everybody a heads up, if you've not seen the movie, you can, some spoilers here, but this movie is basically, it's an infidelity / hold up scenario, and the hold up scenario is kind of what brings everybody together and all the chaos ensues.
Yeah, I'll just preface from this point, if we're delving over the plot and talking about it, spoilers, if you want to go watch it, I recommend it. You can watch it on Amazon Prime, and there's a couple other services
MGM
that have
Plus, I think.
Yep, MGM Plus. And so spoilers from this point, and if you don't want spoilers, take a hike. So with his role in this movie, and him being, I think it was more of like he was kind of coming into his bigger, because I mean he lands a lot bigger pictures after this one. The one thing I did notice in the movie, and I don't know if you noticed either, is there was not a lot of product placement. I didn't see, there was not, even like
But I think in the 90s, I don't think there, I mean, no, not really. I mean, Cadillac, the cars, but no, I think you're right. Not not really much of anything, really.
Yeah. And even with the cars, he talks about one Cadillac the whole time. So, and it's the only with the Russian couple, and that was it.
Lincoln.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
Lincoln Continental. That's right.
Yeah, because they wanted American.
Correct. Yeah. But I didn't notice any really, despite it being called Cadillac Van. There wasn't a whole lot of caddy conversation. It wasn't a caddy dealership. It was just a dealership. And so
There was a little competition going on too between him and this female. That wasn't a main plot point, but it was a plot point.
right. Yeah, to keep his job.
Yes. So essentially, they're moving locations, and only the strongest survive. And he needed to sell, I think, 12 in one day. So
Right. And obviously, they get held up, and he spends the day not selling, but trying to defuse the situation, essentially. Hello, Seaman. Welcome
that's
in.
one of the biggest things. Like, you talk about diffusing the situation and him being a ladies' man, and it's hilarious because he is trying to take a fall for a woman he actually didn't sleep with.
Right, the only one in the film, other than the other female saleswoman,
The
but
lead sales lady.
yeah,
Yeah.
but everyone else, and they all conglomerate at this place, because he was on TV, essentially being the guy who was held up. So I found that actually really, really funny, as they're kind of like falling into this situation. Which do you...
Well, there's one scene.
Mhm.
There's one scene where, oh my gosh, the one lady's there, Dolores, right? The lady he didn't sleep with,
Oh, Donna.
right? So he doesn't sleep with Donna, but Lila, one of the girls that he did sleep with, comes in. And she's able to sneak by the police magically. And, well, you're sleeping with her? Well, you're sleeping with her too? And it was like three different women all at the same time they're talking about, and you can see in Robin Williams' face, like, that guy is an amazing actor. And he just, like, he knows that he would probably rather take the gun from the guy and shoot himself at this point.
Right.
And that's another thing. I just talked about the AK-47 is what it is, and just his interactions with the guy holding them up, which is Tim Robbins' character. Just the interaction between him. You want to put that barrel in my neck, I can't feel it type of vibe, and the little humor and jokes and whatnot that were coming out of it were top notch.
I agree.
I have a question for you. Do you feel there's a character that should have gotten more screen time and more of the focal point?
I don't necessarily think so. Because the focus was on him, and I think he had good, he had enough charisma and pacing, to kind of hold up the film. And I don't think there would have been a whole lot with the characters to kind of carry the rest of the film. I mean, you could have with Larry Tim Robbins' character, but I don't think that would have helped too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think so, personally.
Gotcha. I like the interaction between Tim Robbins and Robin Williams' character. I didn't get enough.
Yeah, no, I thought they were a great duo, especially because it's like he's commanding, Joey, the character, is commanding the um scenes,
He's
and
manipulating them.
right, and he is kind of taking charge. So
That guy was salesman of the year.
I agree. Yeah, and he kind of comes up with the plan, whereas Larry's here because his wife was cheating on him. So
Okay, so
both
to add some
C-Man,
context to that, Donna's actually cheating with a different employee other than Joey,
right.
and it's kind of hard to explain. It's a love rectangle, and so he's taking the fall for his friend because his friend's the one that ends up sleeping with her, and they use his place to do it.
Right.
And so the interaction is just, it's bonkers. It's comedy.
And the whole time he's telling Larry, that he was the one who did, even though he didn't. And they end up, becoming a little bit of like friends, and we learn that Larry is actually batshit crazy. And
Not a bad guy though.
Not a bad guy. He's just crazy. And his there's a point even where like the wife calls. Crazy. Yes, he's love crazy. Where the wife calls, when they're doing the hostage negotiation stuff. And the wife gets on the phone with Larry, and then Joey didn't call his mom with the situation, so Larry makes him call his mom, and then his mom starts yelling at him, and he puts Larry on the phone with his mom. So, and that was pretty funny. She's like, "You're gonna have to promise."
I won't hurt him.
Yeah, you're gonna have to promise.
Okay.
Yeah, that was great. Mom coming in to kind of save the day.
That was funny.
And so what did you think of like the tonality change? This is one of my good friends, C-Man. One of my good friends.
I think it was it's like you're listening to music and then all of a sudden it just switches. Kind of like the Black Parade, where it's like, okay, it's going to go this way, and then bam, completely takes off in a different direction.
Yeah.
So I liked it. I liked it because it was a change of pace. Because I'm not gonna lie, halfway through the movie, I was like, so where's this going?
Right.
How is this gonna be a movie? Because right now I'm just listening to somebody just basically be a ladies' man.
I agree. It was like, okay, so how does this all tie together with the kind of like the love triangle and then the hold up situation?
Well, yeah. Well, I mentioned earlier you got multiple threads, right? He's got the 3 or 4 women. I lost count.
Right.
He's trying to sell these cars so he doesn't lose his job. His daughter's missing.
Yes.
And he made a deal with the mob.
Yes.
Or a mob boss, or perceived mob boss.
Right. So, who's one of the employees at the dealership? His
son is an employee at the dealership.
Right.
And he didn't sleep with Donna. Just,
He didn't either. Yes, I mean, I thought it ultimately was going to be like the mob showing up, at the dealership kind of thing, but no, that wasn't the case. It's a distraught husband.
Yeah, husband and father.
Yes.
Yeah, it was and then interaction with the cops. I mean, I know one of our, we talked about realistically or how does it portray. I mean, a guy of his stature walking in with the police there in the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, yeah. She was a good hustler, man.
But I will say, I know we're not allowed to bring up certain things. I will say the movie did a very accurate job in their presentation slash count of, you know, a clip, I guess. Some of these action movies, like Rambo, they never seem to run out of bullets. They
Oh,
just go
true.
on forever. This one right here, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you're counting them down. And near the end of the movie, it's like, hey, I got 3 bullets left.
Right.
Wow, you guys actually put forth the effort to make it, believable.
Yeah, as a person who likes pew pews, that was actually really nice to see. There wasn't unlimited ammo.
Somebody likes Rainbow Six.
Yeah. There wasn't unlimited ammo, and he even did a reload, which is pretty cool. And we were saying, it was like, oh, he did a reload, but he didn't even chamber it, and then he chambered it, and we are like, okay, that's pretty cool, actually.
Right. Yeah, you actually put forth some effort. You weren't. I mean, actors definitely carried the movie, but
Right.
they did a great job.
Yeah, but I mean, even that little thing in 1990, right, is pretty crazy to have. I would never expect a Robin Williams dark comedy movie to have pew pew realism. You know what I mean?
Well, let me give you a heads up. So 1990, this came out May 18th, right? So at that time, you had Bird on a Wire, which was a Mel Gibson movie, and Goldie Hawn. Back to the Future 3 came out May 25th. And one of the bigger movies that came out at that time was Total Recall. That was June 1st. So you think about these movies, you talk about that time period right there. You're talking about basically, I think the juggernaut out of all those was Total Recall.
Right.
So for them to keep some, keep it grounded and keep it kind of accurate was a good change of pace.
All right. I thought so too. That was actually pretty cool of them to do, and I didn't expect that. What did you think about the character of Larry and Tim Robbins playing Larry?
All right. So one of the things I said in the movie was, damn, Ken Robbins is tall. I looked it up. He's 6'5".
Right.
That guy is tall. You're talking about some really good actors, right? And Tim Robbins is no exception. He's top notch, and he's a smart guy in real life.
Right.
And the play.
You're right, C-Man. He is very tall.
I wouldn't say he was dumb. I mean, I would say he played dumb, but he played the psycho, my wife cheated on me, F the world and F everybody else. He did that pretty well. He just really wasn't the smartest guy on the planet, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's a point where he's like, trusting the hostages where they're trying to escape through the ceiling, and I could
trust you.
Yeah, I thought I could trust you guys. I thought that was really funny. He's very dumb.
he reminded me of that white guy off of Half Baked, Dave Chappelle.
Oh,
It's a Baldwin. I know it's a Baldwin. I just don't know his name off the top of my head. That's what it reminded me of.
yeah. What's his name? Jim Brewer.
Is it Jim Brewer? Because where is it Baldwin? Oh no, he changed his name. I think he is a Baldwin. He just doesn't go by that last name.
Right. Um, and with the, I thought all of the characters, I mean, to be honest, they all had, um, very strong, actually, performances. Um, and the chemistry between Tim Robbins and Robin Williams was actually pretty solid. Um, and I think as a character, for both of them, I think it was also probably pretty easy to kind of get into the character mindsets. It feels like.
He was the more fun.
Who was more fun?
Tim Robbins. When Tim Robbins and Robin got together, it was gold.
Right. And there's a lot of even like jokes in the movie too that are very 90s that you wouldn't get away with these days, but you know, I was appreciative of them, I think.
The sexism is unreal.
That's also true. That's also true.
He's gonna leave. Just show him your what? Not today's world.
No. I mean, even his antics with his female sales counterpart was pretty funny.
Oh, that joke.
Yes.
Oh yeah, can't say that joke on here, but that's that was a good one. I'm actually gonna use that one with my wife. Not gonna lie.
I might do. Especially when she's mad. I think it'd be even better.
Oh yeah.
So let's jump into this score a little bit. Entertainment. Let's kind of start there. Were you entertained the whole time? I think I was, for the most part.
Yeah, I was entertained.
Okay.
Yeah.
At any point were you like checking your phone or distracted or like kind of being pulled out of it?
Like I said earlier, we were watching the movie. There was a certain point where I was like, "Where's this going?"
Right.
You know. So, was I entertained though? Yeah. I mean, it was steady. It was steady.
Right. Yeah, I think it kind of it stayed its course until that kind of like blow up moment, because he was gonna blow up in the dealership, you know, before Larry came crashing through the window on his motorcycle. He was about to lose his mind, so it was. I think at least it was leading towards that, but it took a minute to get there, kind of thing, and then the movie kind of resets with Larry.
Yeah, with all that stress.
Right.
You know, the movie puts a lot of stress on him. And then you can see the tension go when Donna and her husband walk in.
Right. Would you watch it again?
It wouldn't be my first watch. It's not the top 5 Robin Williams movies, in my opinion.
Right.
But if I wanted to, you'd have to be in a mood to watch this particular movie. It's not a movie you're just going to slap in there, well, in the 90s, the VCR, and just watch.
Right.
You're not going to typically go out of your way.
Right. I think, you know, even like a one and done is I think it's worth watching, but you know, I wouldn't go and just snag it off if it were old Blockbuster, I'm not going to go to the VHS section and grab Cadillac Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
it was probably one of those movies that was good for its time.
Right. Well, you're going to see him a lot more, C-Main.
Okay. So, cinematography. You think it looked good?
Well, let's get a number on that entertainment score. So, what do you think? And we can even do, if we wanted to, we could even do quarters. My personal is, I would do a half a point out of 1. Because it was a good movie, but would I go grab it again? Not really. I was entertained.
I did mine on a 5-point scale. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's really good. Well, I'd say 3 out of 5. That's the way I did my ranking on that one. Or it was good, but just not like dying to go see it again.
Right.
In today's world, if I wanted to, piss somebody off, I might turn it on.
True. So out of, were you giving it a full point, or are you going to give it like 0.75?
Well, I'll give it half a point.
Give it half? Okay, so we agree on a half.
Do a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is correct, Christina. That is him. Tina. She knows who she is.
Oh. What's up, Spud? That's Spud.
It's possible, Jay. It's possible. So
in River here.
With the cinematography going into the next category, what did you think? Like, visually, I don't know if it was anything that was out of this world. And there were some kind of like jump cuts. But
well, I'm gonna give this a 0.75.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm doing it is because I'm thinking of the time this was made.
Sure. And the car camera shots, those were pretty impressive inside the car.
Mm-hmm. The car, the store, there's different sets. I mean,
Right.
It wasn't all just, just the dealership. There was other places involved, and it was very expanded.
Yeah.
I would actually give this one a 0.75, because I liked it. It was great. The video itself was kind of grainy, but I think that's just more of the 90s.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would agree. I'd give it a 0.75. It wasn't there wasn't a whole lot of random jump cuts or anything like that. There was maybe like one or two with the police officers, but it wasn't like unbearable or anything like that, you know what I mean? So, and the car shot was good, and him talking into the camera, I think that was also good. So I would agree. I'd give it a 0.75. Now, plot and / script, right? And the reason why we have this category is because of the fact that, there could be a very good actor who's playing the character very well. They were just given a crap script. There's not much they can do about it. Or bad cuts, those kinds of things. Did it make sense? I don't know if necessarily the plot itself made sense, but it felt more real in the fact that, this guy's wife's cheating on him, and he just happens to crash through on a Monday, by the way, crash through in the dealership, and all this kind of just keeps rolling downhill because once it started, it's not going to stop, and that's kind of the way it goes realistically. But overall plot, I don't know if there was... That is kind of like the tipping point, and it takes a little bit to get there. So for me...
I will... I'm sorry, go ahead.
For me, I'm thinking, you know, where there's not like a lot of subplots. It's just a bunch of side stuff until that point. The dialogue was very believable. I think for me, I would go a 0.5 on this, or half a point.
Half a point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you what I like, what I didn't like. I like the different I guess plots, threads. Like, I thought it was very believable for the different women. And what's weird is that all the women knew about it.
Right.
It was weird. They insinuated the stuff for the mob, you know, and then the job. And for me, the part that took me out of it was the end. Because they basically built this stuff up, and then it was solved within like 5 seconds.
Right.
He walks out of the dealership. Done. Movie over. I was like, well, anticlimactic.
I agree.
And, so for that reason, I would give it I'd give it half a point for me.
Okay. So we agree on half a point there.
Yeah.
Okay. And audio, I think we both kind of came to an agreement at the beginning with the soundtrack, which was it's called Snatch and Grab It by Julia Lee. I thought that was a great opening soundtrack. The sliding of the casket was kind of rough on the eardrums, but that was the only thing, and that's just me nitpicking because, you know, I'm neurospicy. But in terms of soundtrack, I thought that was great.
Yeah. For the casket, though, I think they did that on purpose because they wanted everybody to know that, I guess you could tell people, beginning of the movie, hearse breaks down, they did the casket, and they slide in the back of a beat up pickup truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
A $10,000 coffin. Yeah. And it scratches. Yeah. And then
so that's the reason why I thought they wanted everybody to know that this thing's getting jacked up.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, I understand probably audio at the time. It was just kind of grating to me, but and even like the conversations and the audio from the dealership, as someone who's worked in sales, that was very, very realistic, and everyone kind of approaching you all at once and needing things all at once is kind of manic all over.
Yeah.
So I think that was very good. I don't think there was a lot of sound like tension building or anything like that. Of course, there's not really a whole lot of tension other than the very initial interaction between Larry and Joey.
Yeah, I agree.
So I
100%.
think, yeah, I don't think there was a whole lot of like soundtrack punch to that. If at all, at least anything that was there was forgettable. Right.
You had the main song that came in, and then everything else was basic.
Right. And the dog scene where they were stuck in traffic, that kind of annoyed me. Because the yippy dog, it sounded like they were right up in the microphone.
They really did, like, they really wanted that dog to be in the shot. I don't know if it's the director's wife's dog or something or
Right.
what, but they really focused on that dog for some
reason. Right. So I don't know. For me, I think, and I don't think like the opening song was dated, even though it's from like 1946. I think it encapsulated dealership kind of vibes, reminded me of like if I were booting up like Gran Turismo, and it made me think of cars,
Yeah.
So I think that was good, but in terms of the rest of the sound I'd give it like a 0.5.
You're giving it higher than me. I would say 0.25.
0.25.
It's only getting that for the intro song. Because the thing is like without that intro song, everything else is just background. There's nothing. There's no ambient sound for dramatic scenes. There's no happy little jingle when things are going right for him. It's just that song and just general sound effects that are basic.
That's true.
And even like you said, the dog was annoying. The casket. I mean, I said, yeah, they made an emphasis to put that in there, but
Why?
yeah, I mean, you're already taking a $20,000 funeral thing and putting it in the back of a truck. I mean, is there really a need to, yeah, 0.25 for me, sir.
I concur. We did talk about script and plot, so that would average us at 0.375.
Immersion?
Just gonna note here real quick.
Weird.
Yeah, and so for our last category of acting and immersion, what were your thoughts?
I'm giving it a 5. Not a 5. I'm giving it a 1.
1. Okay.
I'm giving it a 1. Robin Williams was excellent. Tim Robbins played a doof, but judging by the way the character was presenting himself, it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
During that time period, I mean, I'm not, I don't know. I mean, the women all knowing each other kind of is like, but I mean, that does happen. So right. I really can't say there was any bad acting in it.
Yeah. Well, do you think there was anyone that was miscast? I don't think so, but
the ex-wife seemed off to me. We talked about that where we were watching it. It's something about her for me, but you didn't have a problem with it. And typically, I don't know how bad this is going to sound, but guys have a type.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the similarities between two of the women, but not the ex-wife. So it's like, no, sure. I mean, as far as the casting, I mean, like I said, I give it a point.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think that there was anyone miscast myself. And I definitely felt like even the dialogue and the interactions were very real life, kind of natural kind of flow to them. Yeah. Which I appreciated for sure coming into this, because a lot of comedy movies either try to force something, or there's, random interactions and the flow of the movie and the conversations don't flow properly. So, and I felt that was very, I would say, subdued in this movie. It was a lot more on
to
point.
The last part. Now that I'm thinking about it, yep. When he walks out, remember when he walks out of the dealership,
mm-hmm.
and the guy's like, "Oh, it's all forgetting OV0, da 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 da." some of that was a little over the top, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't. It definitely still had that movie aspect with the kind of dialogue, you know, but everything else, like the interaction with coworkers and things like that, was very natural, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I think, and there wasn't even like necessarily like a tone change in the movie. It was just, oh, more shit on the pile kind of thing is what kind of kept happening. Yeah. And it's
so
like,
what was the point of this?
Right. Yeah. So I think, you know, he did a very good job, and so did Tim Robbins. So I'd also give it a 1. I agree.
All right.
Now, my general, and some of these are some hot take questions that I had kind of cooked up. Do you think charisma matters more than character development?
No. Charisma helps, but there were a couple of the I would say actresses that I don't feel had that charisma, but they were still good in their roles.
That's fair.
You? What do you think?
I think it can matter, mostly with either a lead and or the type of movie. So someone like, let's use Ryan Reynolds, right? He's definitely got that charisma and a lot of characters that he plays as, especially in his early work where, you know, there was not character development, right? But carries the movie because he is charismatic and funny. This is not a movie I would say that would be carried by that. I don't think if you swapped Robin Williams for another actor and or comedian at the time, I don't think it would be carried very well. Personally. So in this case, yeah, I think, you know, that it's not even, there wasn't really character development a whole lot till the very end, but the tone and his approach was just, it wasn't just comedy charisma. So I think it can with certain movies, but I don't think it could with just this one. You know, you need someone a little more intelligent.
I think charisma for this movie. Trying to think of actors at the time that could probably do that movie. Like Tom Cruise could have pulled this movie off. You know, it's not really what he was known for back in those days, but
yeah,
you know, and you just think about we'll say he wasn't typecast for this movie.
True. I think if you had someone else replace him who's a more dramatic actor like Tom Cruise, I think it could have been a lot more. It would have been different. I think it would have sold more.
The tone would
obviously
have been different,
but the tone would have changed a lot. Yeah. So, I do think it matters, but on the type of genre and who you have headlining. Charisma can carry movies, but I don't think it would just necessarily carry this movie.
Well, I think charisma does help also with bad writing. Robin Williams was known for, if I remember right, he was known for kind of going off script.
Right.
And I don't know about this movie, but this definitely seems like a movie that he ad-libs and stuff. You know, it definitely seemed like he ad-libs, especially that one part where even you called out. I think that was a little bit more Robin Williams. That's when he was sitting there and he had something pushing up against his neck, you know? And he was just like, it just seemed like he was agitated in real life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he was being like poked in the back kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That was more of like, Tim Robbins, I think, poking him, and that kind of stuck.
So, as far as grades are concerned, what was your final grade?
So we agreed on quite a bit of it. So total we've got. Let's see. Pull up our calculator here. For entertainment, we both said 0.5. And for cinematography, we both had 0.75. And for audio, we had 0.375. And script, we had 0.5, and then a 1 for immersion. So overall, it gets a 3.125.
Okay, so you were a little bit higher. I got a dead on 3.
Dead on 3, yep.
Yep, because I had 0.5 with you. I had 0.75 for cinematography. I think I was a little bit lower on the audio. I put it 0.25.
That makes sense. So, yeah, that would put us at our average would be 3.125.
Oh, okay. You had mine in there. Cool.
Yes, sir.
And that kind of goes with the IDBM or IMDb.
Mhm.
Sorry. They gave it a 5.8 out of 10.
Right.
Once again, it was a great watch. Not a movie I'm going to run back to see immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought
If this came out in the theaters, I'd tell you to wait till it hits streaming.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a general, you think. I agree. Just recommendation, of course, watch it streaming. I think it's a good movie to watch. But you won't watch it more than once. So if you're picking up that subscription or anything to watch it on Amazon Prime through MGM, just cancel it afterwards. Or get your fill and then cancel it with other movies.
Agreed.
So these are just general questions kind of carrying it. Do you think there should have been like any added scenes, or the movie should have been longer, or?
The movie was only an hour and 50 some odd minutes, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was an hour and 37 minutes.
Yep.
I feel this movie would have been better if they cut out some of the plot threads and introduced Tim Robbins earlier. Their interactions together made that movie good.
I agree. Or at least, what was going on with him, or his little side plot on how he, faked rigged his motorcycle, and, those kinds of things I think could have been also pretty funny and given Tim Robbins a little more shine. Still a supporting role, but a little bit better on what's happening. Or even like a little flashback, to been like at the end where he's talking about it being fake.
Introduce him better than just the one spout. He drives up to the dealership, is like, what have you been doing? You work and such and such and such.
Right.
Go home. Okay. And then that was it.
Right.
He leaves. And it's like a little bit more character, I guess, development in that. I mean, you kind of put 2 and 2 together, but
right.
I mean, you could have cut out some of the other plot threads and added more to that instead.
Right. I agree.
And I,
mhm.
honestly, I would have cut out the mob guy. That was
Ye-
useless.
yeah, I agree with that. That um wasn't the best overall.
No. Oh, because you had the cheating, made sense.
Right.
Um, you had the job, you know, they're gonna get rid of whoever doesn't make their sales, which gives it incentives and extra stress.
Right.
The whole owing money to the mob thing is like, what?
You're right. That's where I thought,
You need it.
by the end it was going to be like, oh, well, the mob shows up kind of thing. But he gets off scot-free because, he gets the mob boss's kid out. Like, makes sense realistically, but at the same time, it's like, why?
Yeah, I mean, you don't need it. That's time you took away from a Tim Robbins and Robin Williams mashup,
Right.
or getting more in depth in Tim Robbins' character, other than the fact that, you know, he married her but doesn't know her that well, which I think was one of the comments that was made.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I was like, what?
Right. I think that we kind of agree on what would be, the worst plot hole for it, and what we would remove, but or at least bothered us the most. And you were touching on it earlier. Do you think the ending improved or hurt this movie?
If you would have cut out how everything magically solved itself,
Mm-hmm.
then it'd been a better movie. Essentially, they had Stockholm syndrome at the very end of it.
Right.
This moron, and everybody else is all like, "I'm gonna help you. Oh, I'll be there for you every second of the way, every minute. I'll give you the money you need for a lawyer."
Right.
Do you not realize he had you at?
Pew pew point.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you forget that he, quote unquote, rigged his bike? Hello, did you guys forget about the remote control? Okay, sure.
Right.
I mean, that part, no. I mean, it's a movie, right?
Right.
My wife will tell me just to quit thinking logically. Heck, even death is like, take your mind out of it. That's why I can't watch movies like Halloween. Just like, you deserve to die.
Do you think?
What about you?
Well, I mean, yeah, that the same thing is like, it's really is they describe it as just a dispute, a marital dispute, right? He just is crazy versus, and he knows that he got himself in over his head. Like, he's even hiding behind the desks and stuff with them when the police show up and stuff. It's like, this guy really didn't actually want to be here. He was just acting stupid because he was pissed off.
You shouldn't operate a pew pew if you don't know how to operate a pew pew, because he accidentally injures a police officer and his wife.
Yes. Probably ex-wife after that, but yes.
Pretty sure Bubba's going to be his new wife.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely think the ending hurt it for sure. Like, I get him being like coming up and I'm gonna help you, kind of thing, because they had good chemistry kind of thing. And then there's the little side wrap up with his wife and everything, and it was kind of like they took what should have been probably in like another 30 minutes and wrapped it up in 4. Like, even another scene of them being like, oh, he does actually go to the hospital to see Larry and Donna, and, he has dinner with his wife or something like that, and they're kind of reconciling or something like that, you know?
Yeah, you definitely could have cut out some of that and add some of the, instead of leaving it ambiguous, oh, well, come over, we'll see what happens.
Right.
Or like maybe a little bit more, I guess.
Right. Even like another, 15 minutes or something. Right. What do we know? I don't have $1 million to make a script in a movie.
I guess it is worth noting for anybody who does care. The director is Roger Donaldson. The writer is Ken Friedman. So in case anybody does know or want to know his body of work, he was director of the movie Species, which was an awesome movie. So I'd rather watch that than this movie again. Hey, throw that out there.
He did do the World's Fastest Indian, which is a great movie.
I did not actually watch that movie. So
with
that out.
Anthony Hopkins, and he also wrote it, so that might be a pretty good one. He also directed Cocktail. I didn't know that. And The Getaway. Yeah, that's a good movie. He's done some pretty good body of work.
This guy can direct.
Right. Could be producers got a hold of it or something at the end, or the script was, meh.
Never know.
Never know. Let's see. Do you think if this movie was made today that it would succeed? There's a couple jokes I don't necessarily. There's a couple jokes I don't necessarily think so.
If you're big in the whole sexist thing, this is not the movie for you. Because women are objectified in this movie.
Yes.
Not so much. Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore everything I was about to say and just say yes. Objectified.
I would say, yeah, from a chasing Playboy stance. But I will also say that the women know they are being and are also stepping out on their men and things like that in this movie. It's kind of, you need some plot threads to kind of connect who's, with who. I'd say just some red line threads, but definitely for sure that at least the salesmen are schmucky salesmen in that regard.
And you know what? To be fair, if they can make Blazing Saddles into a kids movie, then they could make this movie. It just wouldn't be a good movie. And the only movie I can think of off the top of my head, because I haven't seen every movie out there, is What Women Want.
Good old Mel Gibby
comparison,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very power fantasy movie. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely don't think it would succeed either.
No, I don't even think this succeeded.
No, it definitely didn't, especially with everything that was coming out. Yeah. You think I don't think necessarily, but I'd ask you this. Do you think you'd change your score at all after sitting on it? I might be more harsh than I am now, but...
Four?
Yeah. Our 3.125.
No, I agree it's a 3. I agree it's a 3 because 2.5 makes it an average movie, right? I think it's a little bit above an average movie. I mean, I've seen some pretty bad movies. This just isn't a movie like if a movie's a 4 and higher, it's like, okay, I'm gonna watch that again.
Right.
It's a 3. I was like, I enjoyed myself. It was really good. I really wouldn't go back to it, but it was really good.
Right.
And then for me, a 2.5 is it's a movie.
Yeah, I was entertained, but it was alright. Yeah.
Good job. You made a movie.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It's a little above that, but I'm not going to be, chasing this movie again. But I don't think I would change my score.
I'd watch it with them.
Yeah, I would do that if someone was like, "Oh, you guys watch Cadillac Man? You want to sit down and watch it?" Sure, I'll watch it again. It's pretty good. But I'm not. I myself am not chasing it going out of my way to go watch the movie again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Agreed.
And so just some closing prompt questions. We did also briefly talk about, the 90s and those kinds of things, which we can unpack if you want. But do you think this movie kind of taught us anything about Robin Williams and his career?
So when you normally think of Robin Williams, you think of him as a comedian.
Right.
His comic movies, Mrs. Doubtfire, those type of movies. I will say this is one of the few movies where he goes through just about every range of acting. Like this, if you want to watch a movie of him as a well-rounded actor, this is it. He's serious. You can see the expressions in his face, his little mannerisms, even the humor parts where he's known for just going extravagant. It's more subtle,
right?
Like Rodney Dangerfield, no respect. What do you think?
Yes, we are talking about this movie, C-Main, and I think it did actually show us into just a glimpse into what he's capable of. Because there's the point where you can see the regret on his face, or the fear when all these women are starting to arrive at once, like when he sees Fran Drescher's character Joy get out of the car and he's like, no. And he's like, it's kind of the same feeling if and if people in here have been in or anyone viewing has been in sales, it's kind of like shit rolls downhill, man, and it all happens at once kind of thing. So it was he felt like an actual normal guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he went from wanting to answer the phone to not wanting to answer the phone really quick once he realized his ex-wife was there.
Right. So for me, yeah, I do think that was it taught us that he does have a range, and that this movie, I think, encapsulates more than just his outstanding comedy or trying to play it up for the cameras. It's, Robin Williams was a guy and can play just a normal guy who's going through this same crap we are. Obviously, minus all the women, but,
Think for yourself.
And I do think that this movie also kind of made me a little more excited for the rest of our movie picks and going into those and kind of exploring his career and him as an actor. I think it kind of encapsulates that very well and kind of set that up for he's got range. Obviously, this is a dark humor movie, but I think it kind of sets up those pins for us.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
I appreciate all the likes, guys.
I know the second movie. I like the original. This the remake.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third movie. I may have seen it, but I don't remember if I did. So I'm actually really looking forward into it because that's one of his darker movies. I don't think it's a comedy at all. I think it's just a dark movie.
Right. And
so that will be fun.
Yeah, and for anyone watching, if you guys want to give us a follow at any of these socials, would be much appreciated. We're gonna go ahead and obviously we'll upload this to those, and we have a Discord that we can invite people to for movie suggestions and things. The next movie is going to be Flubber, but we can really watch them in any order, to be honest. So we'll see about that. We got a couple on the list. We've got 1 Hour Photo as well, and of course the documentary that we're going to watch on him. Do you think is there anyone specifically we would recommend the movie to, maybe? I would say millennials and, older would definitely have some nostalgia with this movie.
I'm giving it to Generation Alpha. I'm giving it to my millennials, my Gen Zs, because when they see this movie, they're gonna get a little glimpse of what it used to be compared to what it is now,
right?
And then maybe a little bit more appreciation and be like, it's so bad. Oh, that's the way it was then. Okay, all right, I get it. All right, maybe it ain't so bad.
Right.
Maybe I am just, reading into it, or I don't know. That's who I did. I'm also an old crotchety old man, so them whippersnappers, the way it used to be back in my day.
Right. And what I did like is this movie as well didn't focus on like who was necessarily a good guy. I think that was also a big thing with Robin Williams, right? He's not like a morally good dad like in Mrs. Doubtfire, those kinds of things. It's he's not the good guy, and Larry's not the bad guy. I mean, he's a little bit of a bad guy. He's crazy, but
he's misguided.
Exactly. So this was a lot more, I think, morally gray, which I think was nice.
That you're right. That, I mean, yes. Larry is more of a crime of passion, and Robin Williams' character is more of a crime of passion.
Too much passion. Yeah.
Well, they're both crimes of passion, right? They're just two different ends of the spectrum.
Right.
One's the cheater, one's cheated. Both sides of the coin in one movie.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And you get to see the outcomes and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in that case, the movie's really good in preaching that message.
Right. Yeah, definitely. It's a sub thing to think about that. Robin in this movie as Joey is technically like the perpetrator versus, but the victim is the one holding him up, kind of thing, So.
Yeah, which is weird because, you as a sleaze bag, but he's willing to give up his life for his friend. Basically, pay retribution at first. Pay retribution for the stuff that he's done in his past, because he does feel guilty.
Right.
At the end, I will say their arcs both completed. They come to a good an ending.
Right. Yeah, at least in terms of the infidelity and being the victim of that kind of thing. Do you think, as the last closing prompt before we get into the other movies, Um, do you think this movie deserves to be rediscovered, or should it be kind of left to the 90s?
Yes and no. This is a movie you show somebody that you know has been unfaithful.
And why would you say that?
Well, like I was saying before, you kind of get both views. You get all ends of the spectrum. So, it makes you think, you know.
I agree. And I don't think that would be a bad thing to share there with um, people who have committed adultery on others. But also just, I think it's a good snapshot of what 1990 was like. So I think that in and of itself is a good, at least one time watch. So I don't think it's should be coveted. But I do think it deserves a little bit of rediscovery.
Get behind that. I can't get behind. I could be talked into that.
Yeah.
I could be talked into that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because there's a lot of really good parts of this movie. I mean, I rated it low, but I mean, all in all, like when you take your brain out of it and you're not being judgy, and you're just when you eat some popcorn and watch this guy's life suck.
True.
Good movie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree. Our score, Seaman, final score was 3.125. So we use every category is 1 point, and we can up to 1/4 point, so we can quarter points. But to kind of keep it simple, scale 1 to 5. But we gave it a 3.125 average together. So little above average of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly the reason for that is
good.
We didn't want to go over, we didn't want to have 10 categories to rate it on or anything like that. You know what I mean? And that would be, do we do each category 1 out of 10? Nah, just keep it simple. 1, 5 points. Yeah, there we go. Roll on through.
Well, we looked at was it enjoyable? Was that one of the categories?
Yeah, entertainment.
Yeah, that's the entertainment one. Okay. Yeah.
And at that point, we'd be copying like Metacritic or IMDb, and that's kind of pointless.
Yeah. No.
Again, average mics.
Yeah. I would throw out the IDMB. Oh my gosh. IMDb. Just to kind of see what the thought was back then. Yeah. It was a movie.
It was
Not
pretty.
the worst movie I've ever seen.
Nope. It was definitely, it's a lot better than like, Birdemic.
For a Robin Williams movie, I'll say it's mid. Comparing to all the movies, it's average.
Yeah, but going
Robin
back,
Williams put out some stinkers.
right. So going back through these, it very well could be that it was, there might be some bleh movies,
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't think that 1 Hour Photo did that well either, if I remember right.
probably didn't.
Mm-hmm. And Flower wasn't a big success either. That hit more in the VHS sales.
Yeah, it was definitely like a blockbuster movie, Disney TV special kind of thing.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's more of a cult. I would say it's more of a Disney cult classic, may I say.
Yeah. I think a lot of his filmography is like that, other than like, Dead Poets Society and Goodwill Hunting and those kinds of things. I don't even think Goodwill Hunting did very good in the theaters, though.
Say what?
I said I don't even think like Goodwill
Did
Hunting.
Flubber not go to theaters?
Flubber did, but I don't think it did very well in theaters. It made 26 mil. That's pretty good. 177 mil worldwide.
Budget of
80.
So it didn't make that much money if you're taking off of ad campaigns and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, it made money.
Yeah. So our next movie, well, we have 3 more. There's Flubber, and we have 1 Hour Photo, which is a drama thriller. Obviously, Flubber is a children's comedy. And then we have the documentary, which was put out by Robin's wife, Robin's Wish. So this is what he was kind of like struggling with at the end of his life, and kind of diving into that from coworkers and things like that. So I think that'll be important to watch as kind of like a wrap up for this. So,
yeah, I mean, I know that just from watching other things, I know John Belushi, I think, really affected him. So I do know that, and drugs and whatnot, but we'll find out more later when we watch it.
I agree. So, anything you want to close on, Mr. Knickerbocker? You have any final hot takes or anything?
No, sir, Mr. Redbeard. All I'm going to say is in a hotel room right now. I'll be back home in a couple weeks, where hopefully I can do this from the house.
Well, we got the conversation and everything, and of course I'm always going to host as well. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Our final score is 3.125. So, and we'll create a list and everything, and on our official TikTok channel, we will have the Discord link, if you'd like to join, and come give us some, we're doing actors, so come give us some actor recommendations. We do have a channel for singular movies, where you can suggest those as well, that, we might be able to pick apart if someone's like one-time showing or something like that, but, we can kind of share who we have on rotation right now, and it's a random roll how the dice fall, but we each pick 3 on a d6 and we go from there. But eventually we might make that a little bit larger of a list if you guys contribute more actors for us to kind of take a look at. So there'll just be a constant rotating list.
I know one person added a name.
Yes. We have added Michael Gross. And then we can also take a look in our Discord as well, if anyone's posted anything. But there's also a channel for those single movies again. So, well, thank you guys, and thank you, Mr. Knickerbocker, for joining me. We'll go ahead and we'll hop off here. I will probably restart my live, guys. So if you want to join me back for normal viewing, and we can go into a normal live.